Hi, everyone. I know most of you are on mute or whatever, but hello, welcome. I can unmute everybody, really. Oops. Brian, Adams, notes. Oh, that's Brian taking the notes.
I can only be on till 7.
Okay, so you and Justin can be until 7. Hi, Sal. Please be careful. I see you in your truck, probably driving. Hold on. You are muted.
There you go.
Yeah. Hi, Wilda.
Hi, Tony. Hello, everyone. Hey, Miss Bailey.
Hi, Wilda.
Hi, Sal. Long time no talk.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, 2 hours at least.
Hilarious.
Oh, you only knew, Tony, if you only knew.
So I don't know how many are going to get on, when they're going to get on, or anything like that, but I'm going to start it within the next 5 minutes because there's important information to get out. I'm going to have Allison open it up and start because she has great information that's new from the county as of the 20th. I'll put the links in here so people can have it, Allison, because I reviewed it really well earlier. But
Yes.
oh wait, I gotta admit some people. Okay. But hi everyone, welcome in. Glad that you're here.
Thank you again for everything as usual.
Yeah, no problem. I really wanted to take the time to make this happen because I did not want to just have the town hall and then say, oh, well, now you're on your own, right? There were questions that people did not get to ask because we ran out of time. So I wanted to make sure that I brought everyone, almost everyone, those that are moving forward in this process with me, because everyone is not. I got a lot of feedback from people, so I made some decisions. But everyone that's continuing on, I wanted to make sure that they were in front of you again. So you not only remember their faces, but their names. You have an opportunity to ask the questions. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that I have this. And I'm in this thing for the long haul. So I'm not just going to have one town hall and be like, okay, y'all are on your own or anything like that. I really want to make sure that I am helping rebuild our community and making sure that those that were at this town hall, at the Builders Town Hall, are in front of everyone so that you can ask the questions, so that you can, if you forgot to get anyone's information, you can get it and you can meet with them. So I believe Justin is going to get on. I know he'll have to drop at about 7, so I'm not sure what time. And then Kendra might still be with a client, but she's supposed to come on as well. So I'm going to go on and have us start. Again, thank you all for who have already come on this evening. But there's some links that I'm going to put in the chat in a moment, and they are from the county, from LA County. There's been some changes, which I think one of them is really, really good about the square footage. But I'm going to put those in the chat as Allison speaks about it. I'll put the setback guidance first. So Allison, did you want to talk about that one first?
That one I don't have memorized. I just want everybody's, who was on our Slack, who are all design professionals and builders, to have that at their fingertips when they're looking, because it's about the
So I will
specific
show
zoning
it.
setbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull it up because I do have it, but I want everyone that is here tonight, besides the builders, but whoever, to be able to take a look at it if they
Yeah.
like to. So
Absolutely.
I
But
will
if it's
share
like
it.
for like, it again, you just put your structure back where it was if it was permitted. And the setback guidance is if you're changing anything or not doing like for like, is my
Okay, well, why
understanding.
don't we, so hold on, and what I'll do, I'll bring them up one at a time and you can kind of go over them because as a builder, as architects, as professionals, you all will zoom through some of this stuff, but others may not, and they may have questions about it. So I read it and I understood it. I was with my mom earlier and okay, hold on. Kendra's saying she can't find the info in Slack. Okay, so, and I may have to text it to her. But I'm going to share my screen, and then that way you all can see exactly what it is that Allison is speaking about when she says something new from the county, whether it's the like for like, or let me see, is this yeah, this is the one that's like for like. So this came out on the 20th, it looks like, from LA County Planning. Can everyone see that, or do I need to enlarge it?
Yeah,
How's
better.
that? Better? Okay, great. So, do you want to read it or do you want me to read it and you just speak to it or what?
Yeah, I'm driving on the freeway. I'm literally on the
Oh,
101.
okay. I'm sorry. So I'm going to read it. Everyone can view it and listen in. And then if you have questions about it, ask. But I wanted to make sure that whoever gets on tonight is clear because we've heard so much back and forth about, oh, we're going to be able to do 10%. Oh, no, we can't, or whatever. So this just came out 6 days ago. And so it's from the Director of Regional Planning for LA County, Amy Bodek. And it says subdivision and zoning ordinance interpretation memo number 25-01, residential like for like rebuilds for smaller size houses in areas impacted by the Eaton fire. So this is specific to Eaton, to us in the Altadena area. So this memorandum provides guidance on the like for like fire disaster rebuilds in the areas impacted by the Eaton fire. And let me just make sure, give me 1 second, because if people are trying to, yeah, they're in the waiting room trying to get in. So let me admit them. Give me 1 quick second. Okay, Justin's there, Hakeem's there. Okay. There's more people coming in now too. So I just want to make sure that I admit everybody that is trying to jump on. So this specific part, again, is about the Eaton fire impacted homes and the like for like rebuild. And it's defining how you can build back or how much you can build back. So the background is that the disaster recovery ordinance allows modifications for like rebuilds that shall not exceed either the floor area, size, height, or bulk of the damaged or destroyed structure by more than 10%. Using a percentage to determine the modifications does not provide the flexibility intended by this section when applied to the rebuilding of smaller sized homes. With a far majority of homes destroyed by the Eaton fire being less than 2,000 square feet in size, 10% may not be enough to meet new building code, fire code, and health and safety requirements. So what this memo is saying, the interpretation is they're going to allow a residential like for like rebuild up to 200 square feet modification or 10%, whichever is greater, provided it meets all building code, fire code, health and safety code requirements. So did you want to expand on that a little, Allison?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully everybody, basically if your house that burned down and was permitted and of legal record was 2,000 square feet or less, you can add 200 square feet. Simple as that. If it was over, then you go by the 10% rule.
Okay, so anyone with a 3,000 square foot house, 10%, which is 300 square feet. But if somebody had 1,500, instead of just the 10% being 150 square feet, they can now go up by 200 square feet and have it at a 1,700 square foot house. Is that correct? Is that the correct interpretation?
Yes, ma'am. That is it.
Okay. So
Is that
to me,
without a higher assessment? Is that without receiving a higher assessment, reassessment?
So Jarvis, I know that you just came in and I'll go back up and I put the link in the chat so that everyone can go directly to this document on the county site. But what has happened is they realized the 10% just cut off at 10% does not give the flexibility because with health and safety, fire, and what does it say on here? Fire code and building code, because there's going to have to be hardscaping and all of that. That might actually kind of shrink, is how my brain says it, what you're allowed or able to do. So instead of it being 10%, they say whichever is greater, either the 10% or the 200 square feet, then that allows for fire code, building code, and health and safety code requirements. Because obviously the hardscaping, if the wall or the siding has to be, it is posted. She said, hi, please repost the link. So it's right above where you just posted. But I will. Give me 1 second and I'll repost it. Okay, so now it's above and right below. Are you able to see that? I don't want to say your name wrong. Miss Barrett? I think it's Miss Barrett. Yes. Okay, great. So that's what that means, Jarvis. I don't think that this is an impact to your Prop 13. That's what you're referring to, correct? The reassessment? Jarvis, you're muted.
I'm sorry. You're correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
Okay. All right. Allison,
Yes.
because this memo doesn't specifically say it, but we do know that there are people covered under Prop 13 and there are people who are not covered under Prop 13. So I think this, Jarvis, it doesn't say specific to Prop 13, but this is literally for anyone. If they're under 2,000 square feet, you can now rebuild 10% or 200 square feet, whichever is greater. Because of the changes that are going to have to happen due to building code, fire code, and health and safety code, with the hardscaping, that may wind up taking some of your square footage away on that 10%. So they have now changed it as of March 20th to include up to 200%, whichever is greater, the 10% or that 200 square foot. I'm sorry, not 200%. Please forgive me, you guys. Don't go saying, Tony said we could build 200%.
Double the house. Yeah, and that really comes down to the fact that new code requires larger doorways, larger, access, more turnaround space in bathrooms, more clearance. So when you add it all up, it's it kind of, so that's, I think, why they did that, was to make sure that we can allow for the proper structure and following new code laws and access.
Okay, so I will check into that, Jarvis, but I'm pretty sure that as LA County Planning planned this, they worked, I'm hoping, with the assessor's office. Because if you do go above that 10% based on this and go 200 square feet, I would hope that they wouldn't try to come back and say, oh, we're going to assess you at a different higher, assessment because you had to go larger because code changed. So I'm hoping that they're all working tandem, hand in hand, to make sure that it is correct. But I will do my best this week to try to get that information. And I know Allison probably has already begun to do that and try to get the information, but we'll try to get that. Okay.
I did, actually. I put in a call to the assessor's office, to their special department, and got no return call.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. So we'll keep following up with that to make sure that, we put that out. I put it out in an email to everyone or whatever as soon as we know. Okay. So does anybody have any questions on this particular one? The link is in the chat. You can read it yourself, and it literally is this exact same document from the planning commission, LA County Planning. No? Okay. Then I'm going to bring up this document, which is the other information that also came out on March 20th from Amy, the Director of Regional Planning again. And this has to do with setback. Yeah, with the setback. So I will read it again because Allison is driving and we want her to be safe. And then she can, based on what she knows and the calls that she's made, and if she's been somewhere or her architect. Oh, and I will put this link there as well in just a moment, but let me at least read this first. So this is Subdivision and Zoning Ordinance Interpretation Memo 2025-2, Altadena Community Standards District and Fire Rebuilds. So this memorandum provides guidance on the required front yard setback for fire disaster rebuilds in the R1 zone within the Altadena Community Standards District. So if there's anyone on here that is not aware, Altadena has its own community standards. I know that I gave that document to all of the builders in our Slack chat recently, about a week ago, just so if they weren't fully aware of Altadena Community Standards, they have it. I will pull that in a few minutes as well, and I will put that in the chat. So everyone that's here tonight can know what the Altadena Community Standards are. And basically, back, I don't know how long ago, 10, 15, however many years ago, when parts of Pasadena, Downey was getting hammered. Like somebody would buy a smaller house and build one of these big mansions. They call them McMansions. And Altadena was like, we can't do that. It happened at a couple locations in Altadena, and they were like, no, we don't want that. We want the uniqueness, the quaintness, our lovely, whether it's a Jean's cottage or whatever else, some real, like, we have standards, right? So they put them together so that we won't have all of that. These big gaudy houses next to or in between two regular houses. So I will put the link for the Altadena Community Standards here shortly. So everybody that's on this call can have it if you don't, because as a homeowner, you should know what they are. And definitely whoever you go with as a builder, architect, or whatever, they have to know what they are. So Title 22 of the County Code, and I will put this link in here shortly, and you can read Title 22. But it states that the minimum front yard setback in the R1 zone is 20 feet. However, the Altadena Community Standard states that the minimum front yard setback in the R1 zone cannot be less than the smallest front yard setback of illegally established residents, excuse me, on the same side of the street, on the same block, but in no case less than 20 feet. Well, that would kind of make my mind boggle, because I would be like, wait, hold up. What does that mean, right? So the intent of the Altadena Community Standards District is to preserve the character of built-out blocks with existing front yard setbacks larger than the standard 20 feet. On built-out blocks, considering the smallest front yard setback of a residence on the same side of the street on the same block accounts for outliers, meaning residences with exceptionally large front yard setbacks, right? So given, and these are good examples, given the significant number of residential structures destroyed by the Eaton Fire in Altadena, applying the CSD standard, the Altadena Community Standards, to fire disaster rebuilds is impractical and will lead to outcomes that are inconsistent with its intent. So 2 examples they have. If no homes on one side of the street on a block survived, the first fire disaster rebuild will then establish the minimum front yard setback for all future rebuilds on the same side of the street on that block. In this scenario, staff cannot effectively counsel the public on the front yard setback requirements because this information may change depending on which fire disaster rebuild is approved or built first. So I will do a quick interpretation. I know that all of you on here are smart, but if my side of the street, say I'm on the south side, right? And I'm the very first one to build, whatever I build, everybody else on the rest of the block has to build that exact same setback, is exactly what that example is saying. So when they found that it would not be feasible or practical or whatever, that everybody would then have to follow that, they said, okay, the minimum setback is just going to be a straight 20 feet. So this memo that came out is now saying when your builder, when your architect, whoever starts to do your plans, they have to take into account that 20-foot setback. So from the curb where your property starts or where your property line is to where your house can start, your foundation or whatever, has to be the 20 feet. no less than 20 feet. And then another example they have on here, if one or two homes on the same side of the street on the same block survived, the minimum setback requirement for fire disaster rebuilds will be greatly impacted by the front yard setbacks of surviving homes, especially if they're exceptionally large. So again, if there's, and we've seen it, 5 houses gone and 1 house is still standing. The rest of the block is gone. Across the street, another one is standing. So they're really trying to have some uniformity for everyone. And I'm sorry, Allison, I'm interpreting it. Please make sure that I'm right with what I am saying. And that you understand, or that we understand based on not only this and what I'm saying, but on what you know.
This is like so extremely case by case. Because if you're just going with like for like and you don't want to deal with this, just design it back where it was. And this is honestly the first I've heard of them saying you can change the location of the structure. So if you're changing your setback to make it deeper, you're technically moving your structure. And that just kind of makes my eyeballs spin because I've been talking to LA County Planning every week and, trying to be like, okay, how are you going to interpret that? You're safe if you go right back to where it was. If you want to move it, this opens the door for moving it. But now it also makes me nervous because it depends on who gets there first. Because again,
Exactly.
this was an ordinance that was written to adopt to an existing older community that was already there and to be like, okay, match your street, match your block. And now we're almost dealing with brand new, full new development standards that these don't apply well to. So this almost makes it more confusing. To me, I just read this as they acknowledge that, if they're going to go to the letter of the law, literally on setbacks, this is a whole new ballgame. It's very different. But
Okay.
again, my understanding is that this isn't going to really affect you if you're putting it back where it was.
Okay.
But if you're trying to add that 200 square feet to the front and set it to the back, that could be where you could be getting into trouble.
Okay. Ariel, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, you read my mind. I thought only my wife could do that. So I read the letter several times as you were reading it as well. Thank you, Allison, for this amazing work you're doing. Let me just give an example. The first person out of the gates establishing a front setback, does that mean if the first person out of the gates puts it at 40 feet back, everybody has to put it at 40 feet back? They're impossible. No plan.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, that's why I kind of, that was my first thought too, Ariel, with how I'm reading it. That's why I'm saying, to me, this feels like they're acknowledging it because we realize that if we follow it to the letter of the law, that's why I'm saying it's got to be a case by case, because if you get your stamped plans at the same time as somebody else, but they got stamped an hour before you and they have this insane setback, what are they going to do? Right? Like that, it doesn't make sense. So
So I think that's why they're saying it has to be at least 20 feet, right? Because if somebody else is 40 feet, they're not going to mandate everybody go back 40 feet because everything would change.
Well,
they're
so what they're saying is that the original law states that the person with the smallest setback, that's your minimum setback. And so that means if the first person there now, as Ariel says, builds at 40 feet back, that's your new minimum setback for your block.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's an oversight, which is why I like these meetings, because Allison, if you don't, or if you task me with doing it, I can call the planning department and ask for a couple case studies. So this case study that we're talking about is if the entire block has been burned down and the first person out has a 40-foot setback because they like their front yards, is that really? So they have established minimums. They also need to establish maximums. In other words, if you when you read it also, Tony, there was somewhere where they were talking to non-conforming setbacks, which are closer than 20. So you see, it tells me the heart of the letter is we want to keep the character of Altadena, which is what you said.
Yeah.
And the way we keep the character of Altadena is if everybody's house was gone on the block face, the decision to have the first one out of the gates is not appropriate. And I think they just missed that one point. So anything
Okay.
else I say is going to be a repetition.
I can make sure you have the direct email to Edward, who appears to be heading up the special recovery department
Yes,
in
I
planning,
think I
Edward
have that.
Rojas. And then, because I also obviously I talked to Ken, no, is his name last name Warner? Yeah, sorry, I've got two Kens I'm talking to right now. Ken Warner. He also is in ordinance studies. So, but I think we should bring that up to probably Edward first, because he's very responsive about it. If you don't have his email, make sure you have that. And then we can just, CC each other on it or whatever, so that we're kept in the loop. But they're very responsive.
So,
Allison, I'd be more than happy to draft that letter, and it can be on behalf of both of us if you'd like.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Because I have tried to be as helpful as I can back to them, giving them any information or ideas that I can. So that's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you,
I think it'll be
Ariel.
helpful for them too.
And I have the principal planner of the disaster recovery team, Nathan M. Merrick, JD. He's an attorney apparently, but I have his information that I can make sure, Ariel, you get. I actually put it in Slack last week in an image, but I'll make sure that you have that as well. It's his office number is direct, and then his email. So that may be somebody to CC or just might be helpful. So this second link that I just put in there is for that document that we just went over, which is the setback document. So again, even though the builders are on here and we're trying to get them to help with the explanations because they couldn't interpret it much better, I just want to make sure that whatever information we are able to get and pass on to everyone is what we do. Mother, I'm gonna mute you because I hear my dad. Okay. She said, no, don't.
So good.
Gotta love your family, right? Your folks. Anyway, he was saying something, all right, or whatever in the background. I know my dad. So I remember I put a PDF of the Altadena community standards in our Slack for all the builders, but let me find that link because I've just told you guys I'll get it to you before this call is over. I know that Justin is on, and I know that he's going to have to jump in about 5 minutes, as well as Allison. They have some other obligations, but I still have Ariel here. Oh, I think Ariel's jumping too very soon, but we will hear from both Sal and Kendra. They are here. Kendra has a presentation that she is going to, I believe, I guess I will play it and share it, Kendra, when you're ready, and do that. But
Tony, I'm going to go
Justin,
ahead and jump now, just so
okay,
that Justin can get a couple minutes into, and I got to just get my parking situated. But
yeah,
thank
go
you
ahead.
all. And I'll, keep me posted on any other questions that you have, and any other resources I have, I'll make sure you have as well.
Okay, and we're
Oh.
recording this, so it is streaming live right
Oh,
now on the
wonderful.
Altadena Talks YouTube, and then we are also recording it, and we have Brian Bacchus who's doing the Fathom note taker that's also taking notes. So anything that you miss, I will make sure you have, Allison, and anybody on this
Appreciate it.
call, I'll send the link out to everyone for that as well.
Wonderful. Okay, appreciate you.
Um,
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Appreciate you jumping on.
Bye, Allison.
Justin, you are here, and I know that you and I spoke earlier. We spoke a little bit about this. Oh, everyone's driving. Please be safe, everybody.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
I
And
apologize.
this is
Yeah.
Justin Love with Love Construction. I wanted
How's
to
everybody doing?
obviously make sure that you all remembered him. But do you have anything tonight, or what did you want to before you
You
have
know
to jump?
what? I got to jump in just a couple minutes, but I just want to say that, if there's homeowners that are watching, I'd love to connect with you, and you can actually reach me at 323-237-9717. And,
So
just
Justin,
discuss. Yeah.
I'm going to send out the link to this, but I will also put everyone that's a builder, architect, or whatever who's on this call tonight, their actual contact information. So everyone has your emails and your phone numbers, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want you to be distracted while you're driving with that. And I want to make sure that in case anyone else is driving, they're not trying to get that number real fast. So all of you, my builder folks that are on here, will be CC'd, but I will make sure that everyone has your direct contact later this evening when I have the
Okay.
recording, which takes a few minutes after.
Okay.
Okay, and I know you have to jump, so thank you for coming in when you could. Ariel, I know you're gonna need to go as well soon. You have a wonderful date night, I think, with your wife. I don't know if it's
Every
7.
night's a date night. No,
That's right.
she 7:30. I'm good.
7:30. Okay.
I'll stay on. I'm good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, great. And so if you guys see Sal, well, on my screen, Sal is just below me in his truck driving as well, but I don't know where he is on yours.
I'm actually parked now on the side right now.
Okay, cool. So Sal is from Vivere Construction. He was there on the 8th, and he is with us tonight. I think what I'm going to do, Kendra, if you are ready, I know you're on here. Where are you? Oh,
I'm
okay.
here.
Kendra
I'm
Mays.
ready. I don't know why you
Okay.
can't see me, but I'm here.
I saw you
Hi,
a little while
everyone.
ago, and then now I just see Kendra Mays' design, so that's fine.
It's weird. Like my screen just went. I think my Zoom is tired.
So this video is about 9 minutes long, but and I know Jack is on the call, but we had Ryan from Gear Creek that came on, and then Kendra, because she has worked with this product before, called her manufacturer who's in Texas. And he knew Ryan because he said, "Oh yeah, he's been telling me he needs lots of this product for California fires." So Kendra has a connection directly with the
Right.
manufacturer of this fireproofing. And so what this video is from the manufacturer who's in Texas, and it's almost like, so I'll say this: I hate when people say prefab, right? Because that kind of makes you think it's a mobile home, right? That's put somewhere. But what is today is considered prefab, I would venture to say, nope, your architect, everybody has signed off on your plans. We're going to send it if you want this fireproofing, right? It gets sent to this factory, they put it in, and they basically build the house and ship it in panels, and it's put back together on your lot like a puzzle, right? This is one option. This company also does 3D printing, where they will literally, I think it's part of this video as well, they will take your plans, they will bring this big 3D printer out on your lot and build your house with the 3D printer. So just to let you all know, obviously everybody has to go with what they want, whether they want timber, the regular wood studs, whether they want steel, whether they want 3D printing or whatever.
Yeah.
But part of what we are trying to do, and I've been trying to do, is simply educate people and let you all know what your options are so that you can get the most for what you have to spend to rebuild your home, or what your insurance is going to give you, or anything else. So I'm going to do this video. Give me one moment. And then I will share it. I'm just going to, let me close some windows too, so that it actually plays. Because if you have too many tabs open, stuff doesn't always play like it should. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen again and play this video. If at any time any of you say, hey, go back for a second or whatever, or go a little faster and you don't want to sit through the whole 9 minutes, that's fine. Just say that. Just be like, hey, Tony, can we replay that or whatever. But this is Kendra, if you want to narrate during the process or whatever, please feel free to come off mute and do that. But I'm going to play this video.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll probably just let it play.
Oh, and you know what? Wait a minute. I just forgot something. That if I don't do something special, no, seriously, I have to stop sharing for a second because I have to make sure you guys can hear it. Because if not, I believe when I play it, you won't hear anything. So give me one quick second. Forgot about that. Darn it. Audio. Famous speakers. Okay, I'm going to see what happens. But the video is what you want to see more than anything. So even if you don't get to hear the narration from the company, you'll be
Yeah,
all
Tony,
right.
I agree. If for some reason you can't hear it, I'll explain it. But I think the video,
Please.
even if they can't hear it, is very self-explanatory. This product is
Okay.
amazing.
Okay, can you guys see that where it says Global Greenology?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
come on and play.
Yeah, we just can't hear anything. Because it's playing.
Now can you hear?
No. Yeah, there's no sound.
You guys cannot hear that at all? Oh, man. Okay, hold on.
No,
Let me stop sharing
unfortunately.
again. Because I forget when you get ready to share, there's a little something that I have to do. Hold on. So that you can hear it.
So
And
if you want to share the, can you hear me?
You click the box
I
that
hear
says
you,
share sound, Tony.
Yeah,
So
it's on the
I-
right.
hit share and then click the box that says share sound.
but it's not on here. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, I
Hmm.
can't find
Are
it.
you sharing from a browser or are you sharing from,
I'm,
what are you sharing
I'm in
from?
my Zoom workplace sharing.
Hi,
I'm
Brian.
Hey, all you have to do is hit, don't go to your workplace. Just hit the share on here and it'll pop up the screens. And then you just pick which application you want. And then it should say share sound on the side
There it is.
under
There it is.
layout.
There it is. Got it. Okay. It was on my share. Sorry about that. Okay. Now let's try it again so you can hear.
Cost efficiency. Reduced labor costs. 3D printing can significantly reduce the amount of labor needed for construction as the printing process itself is automated. Lower material costs. The process uses only the necessary amount of concrete, minimizing waste and reducing material costs. Faster construction. 3D printed houses can be built much faster than traditional methods, leading to quicker completion times and reduced overall costs. Design flexibility. Unique and complex designs. 3D printing allows for the creation of structures with intricate shapes and designs that are difficult or impossible to achieve with traditional construction methods. Customization. Homes can be designed and printed to meet specific needs and preferences, offering a high degree of customization. Sustainability. Reduced waste. 3D printing minimizes material waste by using only the necessary amount of concrete, making it a more sustainable construction method. Potential for sustainable materials. 3D printing can also facilitate the use of sustainable materials, such as recycled concrete or biodegradable plastics. Other benefits. Durability and strength. 3D printed concrete structures can be very durable and strong, offering long-term performance. Energy efficiency. 3D printed homes can be designed with energy-efficient features, such as optimized insulation and wall thickness. Our patented reinforced concrete interlocking panels offer the strength unlike any 3D home out there. We carefully designed to the core a very intricate system to create a strong interlocking framing structure. Accessibility. 3D printing can potentially make housing more accessible to those in need, particularly in disaster relief or developing countries. Our systems start with 20 feet of helicopiers to secure the foundation to the earth below. This not only enhances the strength but offers a more secure system to withstand almost any major catastrophe. We utilize steel U-beams that secure to the foundation and secure out panel system in place. And once all walls are secure and in place, our printer starts to exterior walls to go around a home or building. These are reinforced with beams, steel rods, headers, and concrete panels all make this structure that can withstand fires, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, mold, warping, and insects and pests. You definitely don't want to be caught in a regular build home with disaster strikes. You want your family to be safe, then this is the home for you.
So I just want to say this real quick. When you see that they're putting the walls in now, if you see these are interior walls. So like Ryan was showing us, it comes and it looks just like a regular wall that you can paint whatever color you want. And that interior that you see, the yellow, is the insulation. It's built into the panels.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Tony. That's exactly what I was going. You paused it at the right time. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to say this also. Obviously, this is from the manufacturer and this is to sell to builders. But the reason I wanted it to be played tonight is so that you all would see what this product is really like, whether it's the 3D or the panels, and you could get a good visual of what Jack, who's on here, would talk about with Gigacrete, or Ryan spoke about from the manufacturer, right? So you could see how things are put together, how the robot would come out, the 3D robot, and print different stuff. And I do know that the outside part of the walls can look like brick or rock. They could print it to look like that. It
Yes.
can, you can put siding on top of it if you wanted siding, or it comes and it looks like stucco that you can then paint whatever color you want. So again, I'm not trying to sell you all this. I want you to be informed so that if you choose to go this route, I think it's a 4+ hour rating against fire that is fully resistant and fireproof. And we know that it just came out from CAL FIRE, I believe yesterday, that more of Altadena is now considered high risk. And so when you're looking at rebuilding, we also have to be mindful and thoughtful that insurance companies who are now saying, oh, we lost billions, yada, yada, yada. We're going to reinsure you, but what are your costs going to be? So if you can utilize something that is going to be fireproof, because we have to have the hardscaping, right? Kimo, I think that we're going to have to install the fire sprinklers, whether we use this product or not. But that is a good question. And I know Allison and Ariel and them will probably ask the county, because if this product makes your house fireproof for 4 or 5 hours, I don't know if that would waive that requirement for the fire sprinklers or not. But thank you for asking that question, because that's something that I definitely don't know. I don't know if Kendra or Ariel or Sal know the answer to that, but if not, or even Jack, who's on here with Gigacrete, because they've built this, they've used this before, and I don't know whether those things have sprinklers have been waived or are still required even with this type of a product. So if we don't have that answer for you, we will do our best to get it, and that will come out in an email, Kimu, for sure. So does anyone, Jack or anyone know? I don't think Ariel or Sal have built anything with this product yet, but I don't know. I don't want to speak for anyone else.
Okay, so I can say I have 100% built with this product before, this exact product, but that was pre-fires. So I don't know if they're still going to require that you have the sprinkler systems or not. I definitely will have Ryan, my architect, because he's talking to them every single day, to ask that question. But I've built with this
Okay.
product at least over a dozen times, so I know how sturdy it is. We have the video. I don't know if you have it, Tony, where literally they was holding a torch. They cut out one of the samples, maybe like a 12 by 12 piece, and were just holding a torch to it the whole time, and it would not set fire. So it's an amazing product. It cuts down your build time. Like, I love it. I
Okay.
almost, I don't see how anybody would go back to traditional builds after knowing about this product.
Yeah, I guess everybody, again, everybody's going to have to make that decision for themselves with their builder, their architect, or whoever, what's going to be best for them. But knowing that we are now considered very high risk, and they've come down some into Altadena, where it used to be up at the mountain. Now it's down. I looked at the map yesterday, and for sure on my parents' block on Wapello, it's down that far. I would think the county, not that they will mandate it, but the hardscaping they're mandating, because that's CAL FIRE that came out with that. So whether it's the siding or anything else, we'll find out. But no, okay. Jack says, I will find out. However, we have plans to build out 20K homes in Baja California, and not fire sprinklers outside were in the master plan. So yeah, we've got to figure that out, and we'll get back with everybody on that. But I did want to just pause the video there to say, again, this is a manufacturer's video. I'm not trying to sell it to anyone. Again, this is for me. making sure that you all know that this product is available, what it looks like, what the build out would look like, and all of that, and that you're educated. So I'm going to go, and I may even speed up because it's like 4 more minutes. So we'll see. I don't know that we need to look at every little detail that they have. So let me just ask this, Kendra and Jack. This has now gone beyond the 3D printing into just the panels, right? So if you don't want the 3D robot there to print part of the house and then the panels on the other part, is this part that they're showing now just the interior and exterior walls based on all of the panels that would be shipped and then put together almost like a puzzle?
So I'm going to jump on here on voice only.
Mhm.
So the answer is yes and no. So there's the panel system comes like a jigsaw puzzle. So literally you're putting on the outside first, putting the panels on the inside first, but these are steel studs that go all the way through. So you have steel studs every 6 inches to comply with California building code.
I think it's not 6 inches. I think it's 16 inches are what our studs are, right?
So Ariel, when you is it 16 inches or 6?
It's 16.
16.
Or 16.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to speed it up because again, this is like sales thing. I really believe that's the end of the video. There wasn't anything else showing the actual panel or 3D. That's more just like added in. But so this is one. I wish I had Ariel's video up because we didn't have an opportunity to show it, but where over in Armenia, he's gone and built with all steel, everything, the whole entire, instead of wood studs, it's all steel studs, including the roof, the headers, the everything is a fully steel. And that's what, Ariel, you did. You said that it takes about a week to frame that house, correct?
It takes a day. We can put it up in a day to a day and a half with 6 people It takes 3 days when it's volunteers or high school kids. And, uh, you know, Tony, if it's since you put that on the table, what I'm learning is I'm seeing you lead this and listening to Kendra and Allison is there is this kind of undercurrent of uncertainty, and maybe that's an understatement, but it's under everything that we're saying and doing. Like, I love the fact that Kendra has built a bunch of homes out of this. I'd like to talk to her and learn about it. We looked into doing 3D printed homes in Armenia with the robots. And the only reason we didn't head down that path is we're building 10,000 homes. And if we were scared of not getting the service to the robot, if something went down,
Mm-hmm.
we can't afford for hundreds of workers to all of a sudden shut down and tell them to go home. And I wouldn't have that fear here in our own backyard. So I've got questions about it. It's fascinating to me. That's what's so beautiful about everything that's happening here. There's so much innovation going on, but I feel personally that I'm a little off balance because of that undercurrent of uncertainty. I hope I get my heart across to y'all.
Yeah, and that I think undercurrent or what you're feeling, I think probably everyone on here and throughout feels that, because that uncertainty, in my opinion, comes from the county, right? Like people can say, oh yeah, I'm ready to move forward. But if the county's not sure about setbacks, not sure about fire sprinklers, not sure about solar, and that's coming from the state, but there's so much that we don't know, which is again why I want to have this and continue to have this, so that as we get the information, as it's disseminated down from the state to the county, and Kendra's architect, and you, Ariel, and Allison, and others are getting that information, we can keep everyone as informed as we are, right? Because they're not necessarily going to the planning meetings. They're not necessarily on the county board meetings. Some people might be, but probably as much as we are. And so that's why I'm just diligently trying to do as much as I can every day and get the information. And then on Altadena Talks, on our podcast every day, we discuss all kinds of really good information. So is that where you're feeling like the uncertainty is, Ariel, from what's happening with county and the state? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And
all right.
What it's worth, and as a disclaimer, I think I mentioned at the town hall meeting that I worked at FEMA for 4 years in mopping up the Northridge earthquake. I've seen both sides of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
There's no easy button. There really isn't. And when I went to my mentor, who's 95 now and is a developer and has built tens of thousands of units, and I said, mentor, what's the one takeaway you want to tell me? And after 3 or 4 hours of talking, he said, son, the government is going to keep you off balance. And by the way, I love my country. I'm as red, white, and blue as it gets. But when mentor, who has done developing for over 60 years, 65 years, says your biggest challenge is going to be getting through the bureaucracy, that's what I walked away with. And as I'm listening now and I'm hearing what's happening, it's like, gosh, Mentor Leo said that.
Yeah.
He's been there. He's done it. Now, think about this though. 40 years ago, when he was trying to build 5,000 homes or 10,000 homes, he didn't have a Zoom meeting or a town hall meeting with a bunch of people listening, or talks or podcasts or all that. So I'm encouraged, but there's going to be no easy button. I'm encouraged. We can't be discouraged. We can't.
Yeah.
We just gotta.
Yeah, we just got to keep pressing forward every day. It's too easy to get stagnant or get discouraged, I think. And so it will be a challenge, but I'm up for it. And I'm just going to keep pressing forward for whoever I can and whatever we could do.
I agree.
So So yeah, we're coming up on an hour. I did want to try to keep this under an hour so people can go on with their evenings, but I did want to show this, hear the information that Allison had, and then ask anybody, are there any questions you have? We still have at least 5 minutes. If people need to drop at exactly 7:30, they can drop. But if anyone can stay on, if there are questions that you either couldn't ask on the 8th or need to know about now that you didn't put in the chat, please unmute and ask the questions, and either Sal, Ariel for the next few minutes, or Kendra hopefully can answer those for you. And yeah, please feel free to do that.
Tony, I have one question. I heard them talking about the setback. The setback is from the curb to what point?
It's 20 feet at least from your property line.
Okay.
And that's going to be if you have your pings in the ground. If not, it's going to be your, whatever your surveyor says is where your property starts, but it's 20 feet back. Is that correct, Ariel? Because you raised your hand, you were about to answer.
Mr. Emerson, your property line is typically the sidewalk that is on the grass side of your house. Now, not everybody has a sidewalk. Does your house have a sidewalk in front, Mr. Emerson?
Small, part of it does, and the other part, the grass, it goes from the grass goes pretty much from the curb.
Okay. So when that happens, and if you do not know where your property line is, if you don't know where it is, there's a technical process to follow. I'd be more than happy to help you, where you go to the assessor's map. It shows you the width of the street, and it tells you where your property line is from the center of the street. So you ever see a person measuring from the center of the street towards a house? Probably an architect that is trying to figure out where your property line is. That shows you the potential street widening. That means that grass that you've been mowing for X number of years in front of your house that goes all the way to the curb is not your property. It's probably a public right of way that you've been taking care of to make sure your house looks good, but it belongs to the government.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the 6 feet, right? Normally it's 6 feet.
4 feet, 6 feet. I checked one today that was 10 feet.
Okay.
These are objective things we can check without hiring a surveyor and get pretty close.
Okay. Does that help, Jarvis?
Yeah, yes, it does. Yes, it does. And then my next question is, I saw where it said, the first house up, and then pretty much they want everybody to be the same. But my house, the house that was next door to me, they said their front door said way back off of the from the curb, whereas mine said, much further up. And I guess just my concern would be is, do they both still, at this point, are they saying they both have to be the same? So if my neighbor breaks ground and builds before me, do I have to match?
So that's what Ariel and Allison were talking about, and they're going to, Ariel is going to compose a letter, and he and Allison will work on that together so we can get that answer, because it looks like they're saying at least 20 feet is what the setback has to be. And whoever builds first, everybody should be basically pinging off of that or matching it. However, there's some things that Ariel brought up that they did not necessarily state or maybe think about. So they're going to check into that, and we'll get you that answer as soon as we can.
You're a really good listener, Tony. The first question I would ask Mr. Emerson is, did all the homes on your side of the street burn down? That's the first question.
All with exception of, it was a funny fire. It hit me, it hit two houses, it hit one house, the next to me, then it jumped and went right on up the street, because I stay on a semi cul-de-sac. Then it went across the street, came all the way down, stopped, jumped 5 houses, and then it took back off down the street again.
Well, you're being very kind by calling it funny. But so the question is a yes or no question. The answer is no. All the homes on my block did not burn down. So the planning interpretation is very clear in that regard. If there are still homes that are standing, they will be using those home setbacks as a guideline to
As
keep
a
the
guide,
character
right.
of Altadena.
Okay.
So that's the first question. If you had said, yes, they all burn down, then it becomes gray on how close you can get, how far you'll have to get. And that's the part we're going to challenge, because they didn't fully cover what to do if that first person decides they want to be 80 feet back. And by the way, it's going to be, I'm not a lawyer, but it's an easy argument. All you have to do is a case study. Dear planning department, the first house out of the gates is 80 feet back from the street. Do you want Altadena on whatever street to have homes all 80 feet back? And they're going to say no. Then they're going to have to make a revision to the interpretation letter. And it's just brain damage. I mean, because it's not going to happen in an hour.
Right.
It's going to happen over a 6-week period or more.
Thank you, Ariel. I
Thank
appreciate you defining it like that.
Thank you.
Did anyone, I know people are dropping, and you can, I mean, it's not like you have to stay on this. Again, my purpose was for the builders who can to be on here tonight and be in front of you again. I will do a follow-up email, if not tonight, tomorrow, with the link to the recording, as well as everyone's information from the architect, from the builders or whatever. Were there any additional questions that anybody on the call has tonight?
Tony, I
And
don't have a question, but I do have a statement. I just want to, encourage the homeowners. We, leave on a high note. We know that this thing is not going to be easy. Ariel, Allison, Sal, myself, Justin, my architect, we're in constant communication with LA County. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be impossible. That's really what I want to say. Just because something is hard, just because it won't be a straight path, doesn't make it impossible. It just makes it a little bit more challenging for us. That's why we have big shoulders. That's why the people I just named are the professionals, and we do what we do. So you homeowners can really take a little bit of weight off of you, knowing that we have you. We're advocating for you. We're studying every day. We're in communication with the people that are the decision makers. So it may not be easy. It may not be a straight hour, but it's not impossible. To every problem, there's a solution. And that's what our job is, to find the solutions to get you the home that you want, hopefully in a timely manner, on a great budget, and you can live the rest of your lives back into your new home.
Thank you, Kendra. And also, Jack did put a link. I will put that in the email as well. And it's basically a video that's about it's 5.5 minutes long, that you all can see. Almost like what we just watched, although that's from the manufacturer, but this one is specifically from Gigacrete or Giga House Building System. And so it shows it being built in a factory and being put together like puzzle pieces. So we did not have an opportunity because of time, and I want to respect everyone's time this evening, but I will send that in the email as well. I'll send all the links to the videos and everything, just so that you have, informed, educated decisions, and you have an opportunity to really look at what this system is. Was there anything else from anyone else? Kimu, we'll get that answer to you as well. I know you had one more comment. You said property line or curb face, but we will find out about the sprinklers with this fireproofing, product or whatever, as soon as we can. What did you say, Mom? Let me unmute you.
She said, I'm proud of you. I can read her lips. She said,
I
man, I did a good job on you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate this because it was a little bit more information that I needed, and there was a couple of people that I invited, and I know they were on as well. So it is a good follow-up to the first town hall. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm in it for the long haul, y'all. I'm an Altadenian, so
You're amazing,
we're gonna do
Tony.
this. It may be
Thank you.
may be something in 2 weeks, or when we get these answers, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do it. And it'll be for the long haul. And as everyone here, the Ariel as the architect and all the other builders, as we get more information, I hope I don't bug you too much asking you to come on these, but I really just want to have accurate, good information that you can have and you can walk away saying, okay, I feel better. I know a little bit more and I understand a little bit more. Obviously, you'll be working with your person or persons or a group of people to help rebuild your home, and they will tell you everything. But I didn't want to just have the town hall and then just be like, okay, here's some folks, now figure it out. Right? Because everybody is having to try to figure out what they can, and sometimes it's just a bit much. So, yeah, whatever I can do, I will. And you're welcome, Lola. Glad that you all could make it on tonight. And if nothing else, when I say bye, I always say toodles. So good night and toodles.
Toodles.
Toodles, and God bless you
It's
all.
so
Thank you so
French.
much.
Oui.
Toodles.
All right.
Have a good evening.
Right. With my Eiffel Tower in the background.
I'll say
Take
that
care,
was so
everybody.
fun.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tony.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
You don't know how to
Brian?
disconnect us?
Oh no, I could end it all.
Hey,
But
Tony, quick question for you, or more
yes,
of a service. So one of the things that I advocate for is for the county of LA to have everybody register as a small business. I'm committed, and I'm giving this to you. I am committed to any business in Altadena that is an architect, engineer, construction. I'm going to help them to get certified, no charge.
certified for what? As a
Be
SV,
certified as a small business with the county of LA.
oh, okay. Under not 8A, but yeah. Okay.
No. Only with the county. That's it.
Yeah, with the county. Okay. Sounds good.
That's my commitment.
Thank you, Jack.
That's my contribution.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that, and we'll put that out. You have my email. Send me your contact info via the email, because we do this podcast, like I said, every day, 10 a.m. Not every day, Monday through Friday. Brian Bacchus, who's on here, who's in the center with the record around him. Myself and Jamal Smith. It's called Altadena Talks, and we are on YouTube, which we should still be live streaming there. Hopefully it took and it streamed. But and so we disseminate lots of accurate information to the community every day. And right now we're between 26 and 28,000 views per month.
Wow.
So we get quite a bit, anywhere from 3 to 1,000 views per day. And we stream live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, bunch of places, a bunch of different Facebook pages as well. So send me your info, and yeah, we can add that if somebody wants to be certified, that Jack Ochoa is definitely available to people to help make that happen.
Let me put it this way. I've certified people in under 30 minutes.
Cool beans. That's really good.
Super fast.
Really good. All right. Well, thank
All
you,
right.
Jack. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. All right.
Thank you,
Have a
Tony.
great night. Okay.
All right. God bless.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Brian, what you doing with Fathom? I know if I just hang up, it'll hang everything up. Oh, and Brian's on mute because I think he's hosting or doing a whole nother Zoom call on another computer. Who is Cheryl? I have iPad and Cheryl, me, Brian, and my mama. Okay, well, I'm gonna hang up. Mom, I'll probably chat with you via phone. Okay, girl. Talk to you later. Bye, everyone. Thank you.